What gaps did you see in the current squad?
Piling any T20 squad, you need to try and have a balanced team. We felt we hadn't done so well was sort of that middle to back end. So making sure we can shore up that middle order strength.
Can you talk about when did that association come about?
That's an opportunity came about. I spoke to the Gulf Giants after last season, and take on the role as a head coach was certainly an honour, and one that I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into.
This is Tanuj Lakina, and I'm joined by Simon, who is the coach of the Gulf Giants in the ILT20. You're based in the Caribbean right now, of Australian origin. Talk about where you come from and what has brought you to the Caribbean.
Involved with the CPL for 7 years now. Originally, I began in Trinidad before KKR took over, and then the last 4 seasons I've been involved with the St Kitts and Nevis Patriots. So had some success with Trinidad in 15 and had some success with the Patriots in 21. So hoping to have some success with the Gulf Giants in 26.
Yeah, can you talk about when did that association come about? How did that process go through?
Been involved with the Desert Vipers in the ILT for the first 4 editions of the competition. But an opportunity came about. I spoke to the Gulf Giants after last season, and to take on the role as a head coach was certainly an honour, and one that I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into.
I'll get into the pre-auction signings. David Miller, Henry Klassen. Let's talk about them first. 2 very proven match winners, 2 lethal players in the T20 format. What gaps did you see in the last couple of years or in the current squad?
Piling any T20 squad, you need to try and have a balanced team, and probably an area we felt we hadn't done so well was sort of that middle to back end. So making sure we can shore up that middle order strength was important for us with the pre-signings. I suppose you always try and get the best talent you possibly can, and get that talent, and then you might need to move the deck chairs around come auction time with the areas you might need to still balance and shape your squad and your team. So, but to have Classy, obviously I'll work with Classy with the Sunrisers in Hyderabad in the IPL. David Miller, he's been in the opposition camp most of the times in the team, the competitions I've been involved with. So, but great to have him. Both of them proven cricketers, proven leaders. Just both happen to be from South Africa, which is fine. And really looking forward to working with both of those guys. And I know they're really looking forward to working and being involved with the Gulf Giants. I suppose for those guys too is there's no problem with timing. That there's very different dates now on calendar for the ILT and the SAT20. So it's great to have them for the whole series, and they can head home for Christmas, chill out, and then go and play in the SA20.
Also, I mean, they pretty much dominate the middle order. So in terms of just the team structure, in terms of the team lineup, how do you see them working together and the middle order shaping up? Obviously,
we'll talk about Helmot. He's obviously another pre-signing, one of the best players to come from Afghanistan. And so with those 3 players, the sort of 4, 5, 6 area, that middle order, that can be sort of done in any way, really. I suppose with T20 cricket these days, it's about entrance points. At times it can be, preferred matchups or situations, if you like. So I think there's an element of flexibility there with those 3 players, and also it does depend on who we get in the auction. Quite clearly in the auction, we'll need some top order. Obviously, continue to strengthen our spin component as well with the all round and pace part too. So there's a few more pieces to our puzzle, but for having Classy and David, and then with Helmot and obviously the other pre-signing of Blessings, just maybe that that 1, 2, 3 position, and then also be looking at that 7 to 11, what that sort of looks like and what we need. So they'll be the priorities when it comes to auction time. And then when we think, and it's quite a complex, it's an auction this year, or list management, if you like, with having 4 UAE players in your squad, having 4 Afghani players in your squad, two associates, 2 Gulf regions, and 1 Irish. It's quite a bit to sort of work through. And obviously some of those players, must be in the 11 or the 12. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Let's also talk about the 2 players that have been retained, Omarza and Blessing. They were key parts of the Giants last season. What made you want to retain them, and what do you expect from them?
Oh, it's all about skill sets, and Azmat's just such a versatile player. You can bowl at any stage of an innings, and also his batting, he can bat high or bat middle or bat in that finishing role. So he's quite a versatile cricketer, intelligent cricketer. He's been playing some really good cricket over the last couple of seasons especially, so he was a no-brainer, if you like. We needed to make sure that we kept him, and especially with the rules now of the Afghani players needing 4, and it was great to get 1 in the pre-signing phase. And then Blessings unfortunately was injured last year, so wasn't able to feature, but he's been involved obviously with the Gulf Giants before. A very good top line fast bowler, and so for him, for us and for him, it was obviously a good signing. We'll just need to then get some players around them to keep bolstering our attack, to make sure that we've got some versatility, both pace and spin, and like I said, we'll need to keep looking at our top order.
Let's talk about the auction now. You've got the 4 overseas players secured, 1 Afghan player locked in as well. How does that shape the auction strategy? What are you looking at bolstering really when it comes to the auction? And how do you see the auction approach really?
One that I'm sure all teams are pondering, what the best strategy or the best ways to go about it is. With the complexities of the number of players that you need to have from particular countries or regions, that obviously plays a part. But in any auction, just like with the pre-signings, acquiring talent, acquiring experience, acquiring players who are going to help balance your side and get the best out of each other. So, there's a wild card that we'll be able to utilise at some stage also within this process. So it's just looking for players who are obviously in form, players who we can get at a reasonable price, because we've got a salary cap that we have to deal with. So I think together we'll put our minds together and try and get a really strong squad for the Giants. I think we've made a good start with our pre-signings. Now it's about getting some significant other pieces to our squad, and quite clearly you look at our pre-signings that the top order part is very important, as well as obviously having that balance of spin and pace, because the 3 venues that we play at in the UAE can be quite different, from Sharjah and Abu Dhabi to then even at Dubai at different times. It can be pace friendly, but then also it can be very spin friendly too. So we need to make sure that you've got enough resources in your 20-person squad or whatever number it is, to make sure that you've got some versatility there. Obviously, with an associate player having to be in the team, 2 UAE players and 2 Afghani players, it must be in the 12. Then again, you've got to have suitable replacements if there's an injury, maybe a form situation, or it's just a horse for courses, depending on the venue that we're playing at and the opposition we're playing.
One thing that I've always wondered really is what is an optimum squad size for a competition, a T20 competition? It's between 18 and 23, but what is the perfect size? Is there a perfect size?
Depends on the length of the tournament and I suppose the constraints, the limitations, or what the rules actually ask of you. I've always liked it in IPL when we have quite a smaller squad, even though it goes for a long time, because there are a few guys who don't get to play on the park at all, just simply because of the number of players in the squad. And also, it can also be difficult for overseas players too, because obviously you can only have 4 being played. So sometimes not having too many, and you can concentrate on those who are going to be playing. However, I think with the ILT, 20 is not a bad number. you might have an opportunity to have 21 or 22. That's absolutely fine. There's not, I don't think there's an exact science to it. All you want to make sure that you have enough coverage for if there is any emergencies, injuries, whatever it might be, that you've got enough there. But there's something to be said about not having too many. Otherwise, you can stretch your resources and then maybe not concentrate enough on those that need to be looked after. But yeah,
it's a very short tournament, right? I mean, it's 2 months. So with fewer games, you sort of also stretch sometimes because you're going from one location to the other sometimes. How do you build that team bonding in such a small period? Because before the tournament starts, you also don't have enough time to have a camp of sorts.
I think there's two ways of doing this. One is having conversations and communication well and truly before the season starts. So the auctions, I think, around October 1. So from then, and our first game potentially, late November. So maybe, from November 22 onwards. So there is enough time in that 6 weeks to have conversations, communications with people. Then you get an idea of people's individual calendars. Some will be able to get there in a week in advance, especially some of the local players, the UAE players. And that's a really good time to connect with those players. Some of the players that I may not have seen or worked with as much. So they feel really valued and obviously part of the Giants family. And then as people drip feed in, depending on their international commitments, it's very important that we quickly get to know each other really well. And that's through casual team dynamics at training, practice matches, things like that. So I suppose in my experience over the last, scared to think, 20 years of doing franchise cricket, and and I'm very used to different players from different countries coming together and working together, and the players are too. Most of the players that we'll have in our squad, have been doing this for as nearly as long as I have. So not a difficult task, but one that requires organisation. It requires off-field strategy, if you like, and really good people, really good human resources. I'm really pleased that we've got some excellent assistant coaches and medical staff that are going to make sure that our players are well looked after, as well as nice, strong, relaxed ownership. It's great.
As a coach, what is your approach to cricket, to franchise cricket, to this tournament itself? I mean, you've been part of it before, but now you come with a different team. What is your approach to cricket that you are going to use with your 4 signings now, with your auction signings as well?
We're going to look to play, bold, exciting brand of cricket, one that obviously play smartly, but play, aggressive, tough cricket. And so any team that comes up against us, they know they're going to be in for a hell of a fight. I want us to be able to do it with some confidence, with some calm, and with a smile on our face. And that's what I'd like us to do out in the field, and also in the dugout. I think that's what you'd find. I've been fortunate enough to be involved in the ILT since it began the last 4 seasons, so I've got a pretty good understanding of the environment. It's a great tournament, the ILT. The fact that you can play all your games, in Dubai with Gulf Giants, and then shoot up the road to Abu Dhabi and down the road to Sharjah, or the other way around. It's a nice tournament. I tell you what, not having to get on an aeroplane and to fly around to a different place is such a blessing.
That's a blessing, really.
Yeah, for sure. So I think the players love the tournament. One of those reasons. The travel's just an hour and a half at maximum, which is terrific. But I think good teams, they get connected pretty quickly, and that can be done through structured social activity or just a team room that has a good coffee machine and a couple of pool tables, or table tennis tables, and lots of good fun and banter and enjoyment. A place where families can come and enjoy seeing their partners, playing the game, but also enjoy everything that UAE has to offer. It's a great tournament. I've loved it being involved so far. I'm really looking forward to this new opportunity in coaching the Gulf Giants. Everything I've ever heard of the Gulf Giants is positive. Obviously, they were the first winners of this competition, and I know that's our priority, to get back those winning ways. Missing the finals the last couple of seasons, so getting back in the fold, getting into the finals and the playoffs is our first priority. and then obviously, going as deep into the tournament as possible is certainly our ambition.